Glad you could make it on, Sam.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for not ghosting us like the last guy.
Who the fuck goes to you, man?
I know, right?
Probably shit.
Subscribe to Simply Bitcoin.
Hey everybody, welcome in. You made it to another episode of the Meme Factory podcast. This is test stream number 61, as anybody who watches with any source of regularity knows. They A, don't have a life, and B, we will never have a real stream. Only test streams, because that way we can't be shut down. This evening, we are joined by none other than Mr. Sam Callahan, calling from Swan. How are you doing today, Sam?
I'm doing fantastic.
Sam, no, you only get one word answer. Fantastic is where we stop.
All right.
All right, so you are head of client services or head of research at Swan? What exactly is your title there?
I'm the lead analyst.
Analyst.
/ head of research. I've jumped around titles. Honestly, people in Swan call me different things. They're like, you're the
I'm sure they do.
lead analyst. I do a lot of the writing. I do a lot of the charts and, influencing.
So I'm curious. I mean, if you're head of like Bitcoin lead analyst, like Bitcoin analyst, what are you analyzing?
Greg, I
about
want
Bitcoin?
to cut you off. Greg, I want to cut you off. Rusty has his hand up real quick.
Oh shit, you're right, Rusty. What's up?
Hi, Rusty.
Hi, Rusty.
Yeah, hey
Whenever
everyone.
you're ready, you can go ahead and ask your question, Rusty.
Yeah.
Awesome, thanks, Pedro. Usually Labra would kick in now. All right.
Rusty, I know
I got
you're
a
real
question for you.
shy, buddy,
Analyze.
but you can give him your question at any point.
He might be
in time.
muted. He might be
Hey,
muted.
Sam,
right
Yeah,
now.
beauty.
I'll check it.
Stressful.
Rusty muted right now. I can't hear him.
Stressful.
Can't hear
Oh
him.
man, it's been a few weeks. I've missed this. Okay, so I got something for you to analyze. Yeah, what's it like having the
Don't turn the camera
same
on.
name as the biggest scammer of crypto this year? What's the analyzing there?
You mean about the Sams? How's
Yeah.
ruining my
Yeah,
mood?
is Sam kind of ruined it for you?
Yeah, I was saying how, ever since Trabuco bounced and went to go on a boat, Sam's have just been down only since then. And it's been sad. It's been sad to watch. Putting a stain on all Sam's everywhere. Just the two, biggest scammers ever. So yeah, we're having a hard couple months, the Sam's. But I would say buy low. And I'm gonna try to pick us up.
You're still not Benz. I mean,
Well, the Benz, yeah.
that's like
Ben's had their
bottom tier.
moment. Ben's had their moment. I thought Sam's, we got Hoseki. That guy's named Sam too. So that's a cool company. Sam Walters or whatever. He's at River. He's another analyst. We got some Sams. We got some Sams in the space to make up for the shitcoin Sams.
It's good.
Yep.
All right, I don't want to get too far before we get ourselves paid for this episode. So, don't know how many of these you've seen before, Sam, but our sponsors make the guests read the ad copy. I've sent it to you. Please check your DMs
Okay.
whenever you're ready. If you can roll through that,
Okay.
Daddy needs that moolah.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sam Callahan, and this episode of the Meme Factory podcast is brought to you by a new product from me and some of the guys at Swan: Kid Rock, less successful Ewan McGregor, Billy Mays, sleep-deprived Dave Chappelle, and Andy Edstrom. That product is Sam Callahan's Wealthy Man installment plan. Basically, it works like this. You log onto your Swan account and start buying Bitcoin on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, no, Sam, this doesn't sound like a pre-planned game plan to make me a wealthy man on an investment plan. Well, I would stop you right there, sir, and remind you that just buying Bitcoin has outran any stock purchase plan on a long enough time span. It's really this reason that you should invest in Sam Callahan's Wealthy Man investment plan today. Because with anything else, you're just using a poor man's master plan to end up sleeping on the streets in Afghanistan, hiding from an old man, Taliban, named Abraham because you owe him money. Don't be like that old man. Sign up for Swan today and get started on your Wealthy Man installment plan so you can live like a Stan, drinking Mai Tais in Yucatan.
It's lovely ad copy.
Amazing.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Amazing.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
When do
Swan
we get a
Lake.
remix?
That was
down
like
in
a
the
poem. That was like a poem.
yeah, Swan link down in the show notes. But you know, if you're watching
Hey,
the show, you
Marty.
should be using Coinbits or Strap. Yeah, any of the
I didn't
yeah.
realize, I
Anybody
didn't know
who
that
pays
Greg
Greg.
had some Dr. Seuss in
Yeah,
it.
who else do we need to make sure?
Was
Fun
that,
bets.
was that made by AI? You just plug that into the AI.
Yeah, totally.
Nice.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I didn't spend all day on that. Now, we have to get to the important things first. First things first, we need to get your sandwich order in. So hop on over to Becca. Let's take a look at that sandwich board.
Okay, hi Sam, welcome. So we have some sandwiches today. So you can choose one of the following. We have a Rising Star Souffle. It's a dessert, but you know, it's the holiday season, so it's okay.
Beats like
We
a
have
meal.
it's like a meal. We have the classic Cory. So it's a 100% Bitcoin bull burger, and it comes with, well, since you already work at Swan, it comes with a promotion. So if you get this, congratulations.
Cool.
Or we have Yellow's Don't Stop Believing steak sandwich, which has been marinated in Red Bull for 395 days and comes with the watermelon sandwich or
Delicious.
salad.
Oh my god, those are tough choices, man.
That bull burger has a special sauce to it too.
Oh yeah, straight from Cory.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I can't. I gotta see. Wait, hold on. Let me get back. I want yellows, because I've been in those spaces for like the last whatever. Has it actually been 300?
395 days.
Sometimes I just pop in there when I'm feeling, a little low, and it just picks me right back up. And so I've probably been in there many times. So I'm gonna eat his marinated Red Bull
Steak sandwich.
Make sure you get some
Excellent.
Malacca
We'll
in
have
there.
that right over to you.
Gesundheit.
Coinbits.
Coinbits.
Who's Billy Mays, Greg?
OxyClean. But wait, there's more.
No, but who's Billy Mays of Swan?
Just take a look at a picture of Billy Mays. You can figure it out for yourself.
I was actually wondering that too. I'll have to.
Billy
Alright.
Mays.
Let's see if I can.
Okay, I have I don't know if you saw the other space I did some lately. I tagged Cory on it, but he didn't join. It was one of those. The title of the space was one of those kind of spaces that Swan sponsors, but it's not actually sponsored by Swan. That was the title.
Okay. You're trying to get some sponsorship money here.
No, not really. And basically, what we did was we were saying whatever, like you can hear in those spaces, like in Cafe Bitcoin in the morning and stuff. And what is that?
That's Billy Mays. Can you see him?
Yeah, I got him.
All right, cool.
That looks like Pete.
Nah.
P's a new Swan. He just earned his wings.
Yeah.
Is P sleep deprived Dave Chappelle?
No, that's Stefan Livera.
That's so
Oh
good.
my god.
Oh, but
Anyway, my question was, where
Getting
are
on
you
with
guys gonna stop? Like you're expanding like everywhere. What's the deal? Is it like real estate for like is it like that meme? That
Did
old
you call
meme?
him fat? What do you mean he's expanding everywhere?
No,
just ordered a sandwich.
Swan, man.
We are going to do
Swan.
experiment until the central banks fall. That's how far Swan's going to go.
Okay.
Keep expanding, man. Keep growing. Our tentacles is everywhere, just spitting Bitcoin gospel. Yeah, man, it's been a ride, but our team continues to grow and pick up guys like P and Nico, and yeah, it's been good.
Nice.
Speaking of central banks, I'm gonna get a little bit more serious right now. Sorry, guys. What everyone knows your stuff about the BIS, which is the central bank of central banks, and the IMF and everything. what is it that got you going down? Like, do you have a background in finance? I don't really know too much, about your history, but what is it that made you go down these rabbit holes of the IMF, the central bank, BIS, and all these things?
The Bank of International. Well, I had been studying central banking before Bitcoin, and on my free time, and financial history, and it was kind of a dark rabbit hole to go down because there wasn't any solution, or I thought of at the time. This was like 2015 or something like that, and I was really interested in like just the history of it and crises and what caused the crises, and walking through like Occupy Wall Street in college. I'd have to walk through those basically homeless camps, and I wanted to know what happened, and I wanted an explanation for why these people were out in the cold. And so I went down that rabbit hole, and I couldn't find anything that was going to help. And then so when I found Bitcoin, I immediately understood the problem that it solved in 2017, and I just like completely dropped everything I was doing, and just thought I had to be a part of this because I knew the evil of central banking. And so when you bring it back up, though, so these international financial institutions is another huge rabbit hole. And Gladstein just made a lot of waves with his recent IMF piece. And I had been studying the IMF for years. A lot of books I read about the IMF. And understanding that the financial system doesn't stop at the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasury. There's a whole nother system out there of global, so it's a globalized economy. And the way it's been set up is there's these international financial institutions that wield a ton of power that kind of act in the background, and they're completely unaccounted for. And that just really rubs me the wrong way. Like it really, I don't know. So I dig in deeper because it bothers me. And then central bank digital currencies started coming into the fold around, I mean, they were already there, but after Libra and Facebook, that's when things really started to pick up in terms of the messaging, the research, and I just thought it was interesting because they publish everything publicly. Like they don't hide what they're going to do.
They say the quiet stuff out loud.
Yeah, they really do. And I don't know. I think I think it's because they think, I personally think they think that they're doing it's for the good. Like they nothing's wrong. They don't think anything's wrong with this stuff. So and then at the same time, maybe they just think they're untouchable, which they kind of are because they're protected by international treaty. And then thirdly, they don't think somebody like me is going to read it. So I dug through all that stuff just to keep an eye on these organizations because I feel like they are the true enemy of Bitcoin. Like not shit coins, not any of these things. It's more these central banks and these international financial institutions that we should be really keyed in on, and keeping track of their movements and actions. And so that's why I went down that rabbit hole to better understand who they are and how to kind of stop them. Because if you know your enemy, you can better combat them, essentially. So that's kind of why I went down that rabbit hole of the biz and stuff. And what I found was that the biz is kind of at the top of the pyramid in my opinion.
You're talking about the Bank of International Settlements.
Yes, the Bank of International Settlements. Like even a lot of people focus on the World Economic Forum, and it's fine. Like but I almost think they're like a distraction to the Bank of International Settlements, IMF, World Bank. Like those are institutions that actually wield real power economically and control the money. World Economic Forum's just like a little circle jerk of globalists who just talk.
No. Can you expand on what kind of evil these people are doing? If we don't end at the Fed, you've got the BIS and the IMF and the World Bank. Ostensibly they're out there to help develop the third world nations out there. That's for anybody who doesn't know that term. I'm not talking about poor countries. I'm talking about countries that didn't fall into the Western capitalist first world or the Soviet socialist second world. So this is all the other countries that were basically left out of the burgeoning monetary system. And then here come the IMF, the BIS, and the World Bank to help. What happens?
Ohio. Where is Ohio?
Ohio's first world, technically.
Basically.
Technically, I mean it's like fourth world when you're there.
I went to Cleveland. I actually had kind of more fun than I thought I would, to be honest with
Well, Cleveland rocks.
you. So
James.
the Biz, they're a little bit different. I think the Biz is evil because the Biz is more like meta.
Well,
tier.
before we get into why they're like, what are they supposed to do?
Oh, they're supposed to. The Bank of International Settlements is supposed to improve cross-border payments, make things cheaper and efficient, promote financial stability, and global central bank cooperation. That's like their mission statement.
And the stat for global settlements or remittances, the stat I think I heard you and Alex throwing around was that for every $200 sent, you're doing $25 to $35 in fees. Is that right?
Yeah, about that. Yeah. I dug into like, so they basically been trying to fix the cross-border payment system for the last multiple decades.
Fix keep it in place. Exactly the way it is.
No, but their mission is to make it cheaper, and we've had all this technological progress, and yet cross-border payments still remain like settlement takes days, and the average fee is like 6% or something like that, which is really, really high for somebody who's poor trying to send money to their family abroad. And so they failed at their mission, basically, is what I'm saying, over the last multiple decades. And then Lightning comes around and just blows them out of the water. So eventually the free market provides the solution. And but the Bank of International Settlements, they're more evil because they're at the top. They're the watcher eye on the sky, surveillance, have all the research, have all the data, and are making the grand plans of what the future is without any oversight or, authority to do so. They're basically, just think of the Biz as a consortium of central bankers. So it's just literally like 18 are on the board, and they're all just governors of major central banks around the world. And they all just get together behind closed doors, protected by an international treaty, and they collaborate. And basically what they research and what they do, it becomes our reality after like a decade. So like the euro is a good example. That came from the Biz. And then 10 to 15 years later, that became the reality for Europe. But the whole idea was invented in the Bank of International Settlements headquarters and then pushed slowly into the minds of leaders and politicians until they got what they want. And so the same thing's happening right now with central bank currencies, where they are actually talking to G20 leaders. And, this doesn't just happen. It's not a coincidence. This is an idea planted by the Bank of International Settlements into these leaders' minds, which then trickles down to all the central banks around the world. And then they all start to coordinate their research, but it's all starts at the Bank of International Settlements. So they're like the puppeteer, like guiding where we're going.
Hey,
which is evil. Yeah, yellow.
Well,
not your puppet, man.
They're also an organization that's really outstripped their original mandate, which was to make sure basically everybody was holding to their golden dollar pegs after World War II, right?
So that's the IMF.
That's the IMF. Okay, I got it different.
that's IMF, you dummy.
The IMF.
Don't you know that?
Yeah, the IMF and World Bank are a little bit more directly evil, I would say.
Have you seen Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone, that 1993 movie?
Yeah.
Where the plane goes down in the mountains and the bad guys are...
He loses the monkey.
Yeah,
said yes, yellow.
1,000 USD dollars.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah, that's
Red
all I
Foreman
know
was in
about
it.
the Cross-payment settlement.
Just throw it out of the plane.
All my infos are basically that I know is from Sylvester Stallone's movies.
Okay. Okay. All right, so in comes Lightning.
Yeah, Lightning comes in, yeah.
And what does that turn on its head? How does that change settlements?
Well, Lightning basically allows almost instant cost-free payments.
Not if you're routing through my node.
Yeah, we're in the early days of Lightning, let's be real. But the possibility to do that, there hasn't been another advancement in any kind of cross-border payment technology over the last 30 years. And, Lightning does that. And it does it with final settlement without the middlemen, because there's middlemen in cross-border payments. There's
no women.
Yeah, yeah. Not just one bank, though, taking its cut. There's like 2 or 3 or 4, depending on the how isolated the jurisdiction is. Like if you're trying to send money to tiny country, you'll pay fees like 5 times due to the correspondent bank.
Sam, is it true that those kind of systems are still run in old late 70s machinery, like computers? Basically, I was talking to Bas with him, and he knows his stuff, and he was telling me that they can't find like people anymore that know that programming language and basically maintain those systems, because all those guys are like now pretty old and getting old, because those, I don't know if why are they stuck in that era. I still don't get it.
Yeah, they're still using the Swift system, which developed 50 years ago. And I think the reason they're still using it, to answer your question, is because they basically built themselves a monopoly, and they built these walled gardens where it's really, really expensive for any kind of new company to come in and offer any kind of solution, because it's just expensive to run like one of these cross-border payment banks, these correspondent banks. It's a costly thing to do, and they built these regulatory walled gardens, and so they basically prevented any kind of competition. And so when you create these monopolies, that's what happens. Innovation just completely stagnates because nobody's forcing you to be better. And so that's why it's taken a long time for anything from the free market to come to be. And it had to come from something like completely outside the system, which is where Bitcoin and Lightning comes in. And it's funny because the Bank for International Settlements, that's like their whole gig, right? And the reason why they won't even talk about Lightning, because it makes them completely irrelevant. Like, if there's any like organization that is disrupted by the adoption of Lightning, it's the Bank of International Settlements, whose entire role, how they make money, is moving large transnational payments between central banks. And if now there's no need for a middleman like that, there's really no need for the Bank of International Settlements. And so that's why you don't really hear them.
Sam, we're gonna have to put a pause on that answer. Rusty's got a question. He gets immediate clearance.
Rusty, go ahead. If you
yeah. So we're talking about Lightning. And
Rusty,
can you hear our
Can
voices?
you hear us?
Can you hear us, Rusty?
Yeah.
Rusty,
Can you hear
1,
us?
2.
Thanks, guys. Love it when you guys say my name. It's just great.
Can any of you hear me?
So I think also though, Bitcoin, like it doesn't have to just be Lightning interrupting.
Yeah, I guess Rusty is not there. We're gonna go through with it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
If you can't hear, we can't hear Rusty at all.
You can't have dead air like this, Rusty. I mean, fix your mic.
Maybe try 5 minutes, Rusty, or something.
Maybe you should update your grinder.
So Sam, yeah, if you could talk to that, like Bitcoin is obviously disrupting as well, not just Lightning, but I mean, 10 minutes is a whole lot better than a few days.
Yeah, no, that's 100% right. That's 100%.
That's an RD level question.
Yeah, like I honestly like that's totally right. Because it is still just a big step up from what they already have. And also, like every 10 minutes, it would be with final settlement, which is a huge thing. Like that's almost why it takes so long, because you have this like stupid delayed settlement happening at different levels of the banking system for these poor people trying to send money, not just poor people, but anybody trying to send money. So, yeah, you're right, man. That's a good point. I don't really have anything to add, but Lightning just makes it a little bit faster, a little bit better, and a little bit easier for, I'd say, like more economical for smaller payments too. Than the base.
It's interesting because you don't really realize, if you just live in one country, how important cross-border payments are and how much of a pain they are. I noticed it when I first started playing basketball when I was in Finland. They actually
basketball again.
Yeah, basketball's everything.
Jesus
first of all,
Christ.
it is everything. Second of all, the team didn't give me a bank account in Finland. What they did was they would pay me in my bank account in the United States, and so every paycheck I would get, it was like $50 or $75 getting taken out of the money that they would send me. And it was just like so annoying, you know? And I'm like, then this was before I even knew about Bitcoin. It's back in 2016 or so. And I just couldn't believe what was going on, but it's like, I guess this is the way it is. There's nothing I can do about it, you know? And then fast forward to now, like this year when I was over in Spain, and I was, you know, I had a barber, and I would just pay him every time I go get my hair cut, because I was kind of orange pilling a little bit. I had him download a Lightning Wallet app, and then I would just pay him in Bitcoin over Lightning. And it was instant payments, you know, no, like Bitcoin and Lightning didn't know where I was coming from. They didn't know where he lived. They didn't need to know. And it's just so awesome how there's not this like these fake borders inside of Bitcoin like there are in the Swift payment system.
That's 100%, man. I mean, if there's one problem, it's been like this for a long time, but in terms of the messaging from Bitcoiners, but if there's one obvious solution that we have, or problem that needs to be solved that Bitcoin can do, I mean, it's cross-border payments. I mean, it's like mind-blowing how much better this technology is than what we have. Like Yellow was saying, they're literally using the same technology from the 1970s right now. So it's a joke. It's like it's not even comparable. It's like you can use Bitcoin and it'll be riding around in a Ferrari, or you can use their correspondent banking system, which would be like tricycle.
What aspect of the Bitcoin Cosmos do you prefer to go through? Like do you like mining? Do you like analytics on the, do you like TA? I don't think so. Do you like what do you like the philosophical aspect of it? What do you like most to read on it?
I like
memes.
I honestly like memes. I like I guess I like the philosophical aspect of it the most. I think the more you read and get into the rabbit hole, that becomes more interesting over time, of how, you know, Bitcoin has this way of kind of changing behavior. Nice. Like a good money, what that means, you know, it's like long-term thinking that it promotes, which is, I think, super important. And the more I get deep down, the more interesting those conversations are, because it's like, yeah, I get it, like 21 million. Because you just learn all that stuff, and then you're like, you know.
That's what I'm saying. As an analyst, how do you make that stuff new and interesting? Right, you analyzed. Yep, we're still the same hard cap.
Yeah, I mean, like
difficulty adjustments still working.
I find myself like, I find myself. I've always been like kind of a more macro guy, and now everyone's a macro guy. But I've always been like an analyst, more on the macro side of things, of how Bitcoin fits into things in a more traditional financial take of like how it fits into a broader portfolio. And I think you can do a lot of different interesting things, and you can look at mining as an example, or I would call like Bitcoin network fundamentals in terms of like addresses and, you know, whatever you want to go deep down into the analyst there. But I don't really mind doing that more beginner work, or like analysis, because you got to be thinking of what it's like to be a noob, and that's why, so I write the Daily Bitcoiner, and that is a lot different than what I write for our private clients. Like, they're different audiences, and I try to have that newsletter be more beginner friendly, and sharing like some really classic evergreen pieces of content from Bitcoiners over the years, trying to like resurface timeless blog posts and podcasts, so that newcomers and beginners can like feel like they're, you know, understanding it better. So I think that's important, and I enjoy doing that. But then there's like the really high level analysis that I do for like our clients, and that's really deeper in the weeds and more complicated, because I guess like more sophisticated analysis work. So I enjoy doing both of it, because, you know, Bitcoin's just cool. But
great,
yeah.
great. That's a great transition.
That is a great transition. I was thinking, talking about the client services, right, Yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to get more of a handle on how that whole client services thing works with you. So Yellow and I would very much like to role play with you in a sales environment. He and I are husband and wife, and we're thinking about investing in Bitcoin at Swan.
Ooh.
Pitch us.
Wait, who's the husband? Who's the wife?
You can figure it out.
I'm not in sales, but you know, I can totally do this. You want me to pitch you? Just like, have you?
All right. So, does it come? Do I come in on a cold call, or have I talked to somebody else before I get to you?
Well, they never talk to me because I'm just
talking to you now.
Yeah, but I would say like clients come in from all kinds of places. Like sometimes they just come in on their own because they're interested in Bitcoin. Sometimes they're referred and they come through like the chat. But yeah, all right. So you're a husband and wife.
We're a husband and wife.
We're husband and husband.
Husband and husband. I had all of our funds in BlockFi, right? But I was an early investor, so they let me know there was trouble early, and we got it all out, right? Got all of our shitcoins out. I turned it back into dollars. Now I'm scared of dollars and shitcoins and casinos that are going.
Yeah.
And he won't get off my back. He won't get off my back about it. We almost lost all our money, Greg. Why am I buying Bitcoin? Why do I want to buy Bitcoin?
Well, in my opinion, you know, Bitcoin belongs in everybody's portfolio, whether you're old or younger, because it's a money that nobody can inflate away.
Do you guys sell gold by any chance?
We sell digital gold. My puppet friend.
No, they sell swans and then they sell the coins.
Yeah, maybe it's a scam.
Yeah, it might be. How do we know you're not a scam?
Well, we're not a scam because we only sell Bitcoin. And so we're a Bitcoin-only company, and we are basically just selling a digital commodity. So we haven't printed this money out of thin air and we're not picking on you. We're just trying to get Bitcoin into your hands. We're trying to get you to take self-custody of it. And we're just the person holding your hand along the way.
How many like services and like I'm gonna get paid? Like, do you guys cost like what's the hidden rules? You know.
Yeah, well, that and are we getting yield like we were getting at BlockFi?
There's no yield because we don't believe in rehypothecating our clients' funds. So we don't take your funds and then go bet on them on something else. It's always held in a trust under your name. We can't even touch it. We literally don't even have the operational capability to touch your Bitcoin or your funds. So there's no yield here because there's no real risk here in terms of us betting and losing all your money. Whenever there's risk.
So if we buy Bitcoin from you guys, do you help us like keep our Bitcoins, or do you keep my Bitcoins for us? Like, what do you do?
No. Bitcoins.
No, you got to take your Bitcoin.
They're
so
our
we
Bitcoins.
don't want to. We don't want
this.
Bitcoin. You say Bitcoins or Bitcoin?
Whatever.
Bitcoins.
We don't tell them how many we have.
It's more than one.
It's just Bitcoin. We have sats. Lots of
first
sats.
of all, we're two, so we're gonna take one of each.
No, this is actually. Is it Bitcoin? Because like I've used Bitcoin.
We're here for service.
Bitcoin.
You tell me what it is, sir.
Yeah, we're right.
We're the customer.
Yeah, we're always right.
Customer is always right.
We'll ask the questions around here, Sam.
Yeah, that's right.
Dad's. Can we get an NFT? Is there an NFT?
Sir, first of all,
There's
wait in your line, sir. It's our line now.
First of all, NFTs from Swan? Can you ask?
There's no NFTs here, sir. You're in the wrong place.
What if we like to like do a present, like some of the Bitcoins?
Oh, you can do that. Yeah.
Can we wrap it in NFTs?
No. Yellow. You can send Bitcoin in a GIF through Swan.
That's an NFT, a GIF.
Oh, it's wrapped. Oh, it's just wrapped with love in an email, and it's just sats.
Okay.
So happy Satsmas. Yeah.
Can I get a pet swan when you sign up?
Oh, pet swan?
Not yet. It's in the roadmap.
How about a guy swan?
Technical issues. Black swan.
A guy swan.
Oh, a guy swan. Yeah,
So
of course.
racist.
I'm a big guy swan. Pops in here and there.
If
On
I buy
websites.
bitcoins from you guys, do I get Guy Swan as my GPS voice?
We could probably work that out.
We
It
need
depends how
Guy
much
Swan as a
Bitcoin you're gonna buy
GPS.
with us, though.
Yeah.
It depends how much size you got.
Welcome to
Force is in
your
here, so-
car. It's another episode of you driving.
The guy who's read more directions than anybody in the world.
That's
No.
Wah, 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 wah. I love that song.
All right.
So,
The meme.
Okay, that
what
worked.
do you
I
think?
have-
What do you think, Yellow?
Yeah.
We're gonna be
Yeah.
late for dinner. Do we join this Ponzi scam?
Yeah, I guess we have to buy because like everybody bought, like the neighbors bought, so we have to buy some.
Yeah, I have to.
You should buy more than the neighbors, though.
Yeah, those bastards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Their private keys. All right, so we're about halfway through the episode, and I want to make sure that we get a chance for Pedro to give out the awards that Labra used to. So, Pedro, if you go through here and give everybody their score for the evening so far, that'd be great.
I could have swore it was Yellow's turn, but yeah, I'm on
I
it.
did
Greg.
that. I did that last time.
Oh no! No! Okay, then it was Rusty's, but I got it. That's all right.
Good.
Sam, thank you for joining us today. You win a broken iPhone 5. Your score is a broken iPhone 5.
Yeah.
I think you can use that as something to hold a key or something like that in a multi-sig. So, Sean, you win a cover for that microphone. That's your score. Something to take away the effect of the P when you say a P.
And the wind, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Greg, you win a new background. Your score is a new background.
All right, got it.
Whenever you're ready.
I like this one.
He's hating on us now.
Becca, your score is a bullet for a 38 special
Beautiful. Thanks.
that you can't use in Canada.
Nope. Confiscated.
That's all right.
Confiscated.
Just one?
Yellow, your score is a battery backup for your phone.
Nice.
And Rusty, your score is to score the next show.
Oh,
Great score.
That was
super disappointing. I'm not
That
gonna
was so
lie,
mad.
that's super disappointing.
that was so meta though. That was good.
Speaking of super disappointing, Sam, you were on the Investors podcast recently. And look, the Investors podcast isn't a disappointing show. Just, you sat there like a stone face for like an hour and 45 minutes while Alex and Preston talk. What kind of questions do you wish Preston might have asked you?
I don't know. I'm not. I mean, like, I love Preston. I was wondering why he wanted to be there, and I stand by that. I was wondering why I was there, but
You did a real good job of doing this the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was like, yeah, like I don't know, like he wanted. He reached out. He's like,
Do you have a good nodding head? Like, how's your nodding?
It's such a depressing topic. So like,
Let's see your nodding.
Smiling while he talks about like world, like stealing the world from the, like wealth from the poor.
Can you show us you understand and agree without saying anything?
Yeah. That's good. That's good, man. That's why you were there, man.
that is why.
That's why I was there. I was sitting there the whole time. I mean, I completely agree.
You could have pulled an
having said that,
SPF and played League of Legends while you were.
I know. The thing is, like, I didn't want to steal the shine from Gladstein either. It was a great piece, and I wanted him to talk, and I was just there to like give some context here or there, or maybe ask a question.
Was he saying his story about how he went to North Korea upon an eagle and dropped it? What the fuck?
I don't think he went there.
What is this?
Surprised
It's
when he
not
got there.
Labra. That is not Labra.
Just-
No way. No way. No way it's Labra.
Oh, look, everybody, I got a
Yes!
second phone.
December 23rd.
21st, told you.
Third.
Who is it?
What?
Talk.
I like that the reason why Sam was what was that?
That was one of Rusty's kids, I think.
Go ahead, Pedro.
It was. I was just about to say that can't be Pedro because the text there is in lowercase. Like so, yeah.
It's RD.
It's just a reference to something I've got working up.
It tells
20
it. It's
December 21st. I'm building.
December 21.
23rd.
RD. There's an RD at the end of it.
Oh yeah, sorry. The 23rd. Hurst.
First of all, it's December the 23rd.
That's your thing. That's your thing.
No. It's the 21st.
Yeah, 21st.
Fuck you guys.
At the bottom. Is
Why
that-
why don't you guys like find your own memes and stop copy pasting
Why
mine?
don't you find your own factory?
God damn it.
It's a compliment. It's a compliment.
Is it?
Yes.
No.
So, Preston ignored you for 2 hours. How did that make you feel?
I mean, I love that guy.
Me too.
No, it's fine. No, I was there as like a question guy, not necessarily another guest, but I don't know.
Because some people have speculated that Swan has taken a controlling interest in the Investors Podcast, and that from now on there will be a Swan present for all TIPs that won't be spoken to.
Who just sits there?
Yeah, you guys are just going to rotate. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, on all the podcasts.
Mm-hmm. They're going to bring P out these.
No,
to show
nothing like
kill.
that. I know, but that would be cool. I'd be all for that because I think Preston's gonna have. But no, it's just a couple Bitcoiners supporting Bitcoiners. I think is all it was. But
All right, so Sam, walk me through some moon math here. We talked about Lightning. I know you're excited about cross-border payments and remittances and how Lightning can fix a lot of that. What market size are we talking about biting into?
like the
What's the total
target
addressable market?
total addressable market.
Yeah, the TAM.
Oh man, I don't know. That's.
Tammy.
I mean, how bullish? How long are we talking about here? Because it can get real bullish real
Get as
quick.
bullish as you want.
More bullish than Odell.
I think the global debt bubble is like, I don't know what it is, like 400 trillion. Nobody knows what it is. That's why it's hilarious. Nobody fucking knows even how big this debt bubble is. Whatever it is, it's giant. And I think that's just worthless paper, essentially, backed by inflating fiat currencies. So all these bonds are denominated in currencies that are designed to lose value over time. So you would think that Bitcoin will just slowly suck all of it out. And so that's like whatever that is. It's either 300 trillion, 400 trillion, 700 trillion, whatever the heck everyone tries to estimate it is. I think that's like an actually obvious way to go because it's like traditionally what's been used as like a savings, these bonds over the last 40, 50 years. Boomers just love bonds. And why wouldn't they? They just have paid well for them over this time, but they're not going to do well in the future. And then there's gold. Gold's like a 10 trillion. And Bitcoin's better than gold.
Let's back this up, Callahan. I think we've all done this kind of moon math. I mean, type of moon math I'm talking about is a specific use case here.
Oh, with
cross-border payments and remittances.
Oh, man.
How big of a market are we talking here? Give me your analyst skills on display.
That's
You already failed the
is
role
the-
play for sales. We're going to try and see if we can save you.
That's why I'm not in sales. Yeah, no, I don't even know if anybody knows. I mean, you'd have to look at the currency movements between like the daily volume being transacted in FX currencies for cross-border payments, which I don't have in front of me. But it's substantial.
So make up some numbers that we'll pretend are real. This is not financial advice. This is a comedy show.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. It's a fucking lot. It's a big number. That's
You
a,
hear that? Her? It's
all you
a
need to
fucking
know.
lot.
I mean, I'm the lead analyst. Like, it's a fucking big and Bitcoin would take that because it's better. And there's no fee. I mean, there's a little bit of fee.
I'm always curious in like markets like that. Let's say it's like $300 billion market, right? It's $300 billion market is cross-border payments. It's a different number. I don't know what it is. We're just using that for. Oh, he's still mad about December 21st, 3rd.
Oh wait, I got something here. I actually did know this a few months ago.
Do you still know it?
Now I do because I just looked it up. But in 2022, there's estimated 156 trillion dollars in cross-border payments.
156 trillion. All right, so of that number, how much is bullshit, right? How much is just friction on the transactions?
So, I mean, it's all kind of bullshit. But
How much is money laundering? How much of it?
I mean,
At least 60%.
I don't know. The dollar is used for a lot of criminal activity.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
It's
why I
Is
like
it?
using it.
Not a guy. It's no. It's
How
used by
dare you.
criminals.
Pedro,
Who's using this
knows from personal experience. I mean,
Yeah, criminals like the guy that is LARPing with December 21.
Oh,
Yeah.
something's going to happen December 21st.
Fuck you! Take it off!
I have no control over this. It just
Yes, you
appeared.
have!
No, I don't.
It's your bullshit!
Sorry about this, Sam. We were hoping to have a civil discussion about the BIS here, but things have gone sideways on us.
I'm all for sideways, just like the price of Bitcoin.
What is what's your issue, Yellow, with the frame below you?
Yeah. Why are you
What?
so angry?
And if once you're done explaining that, you can below me too.
What? I didn't get the question.
What is your issue with that December 2-1 underneath you? Do you have some sort of problem?
It's heretic.
Heretical against what?
The 23rd of December.
Are they fighting?
What?
Are they fighting?
Can you take it off?
I can't. I don't know how.
God damn it.
welcome.
I'm gonna leave.
Sam.
Bye.
Bye, Yellow.
Bye.
See you.
Bye, Yellow.
He just
It was nice. It was nice meeting you, Sam. Bye.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for being in the Don't Stop Believing spaces and being like a true friend, not like some other guys and girls here. Girls in quotations, basically mushies.
What a diva.
Such a diva.
Such a diva. I think
called
we
you a
have
moose.
Mariah Carey of Bitcoin.
the Kanye.
so-
Kanye.
That means I have value, honey.
Whatever. What?
This is going off the rails quickly, but since we're in a bear market, Sam, I don't know if you know the rules, but in a bear market, there are 3 rules to follow. Number 1, you stack. Always stack. In and out of that market every day. Stack, stack, stack. Number 2, you're building, right?
Yeah, great meme, Greg.
No? I did it wrong? All right, you're fighting. Pick a fight. Doesn't matter who. You're just out on Twitter. Pick a fight. You fighting with anybody these days?
I'm fighting with the Biz and
Fighting
central
with
bank.
the Biz. And
Which I
Preston.
think more people should fight.
You know what you should do? You should start
He's
a fight
fighting with
Preston.
me. Me and Sam have an ongoing.
Yeah,
fight.
but I'm gonna get into that.
Okay.
There's like drama. There's all this drama. I try to stay away from it.
Whenever
But I
you
keep-
fight,
I
Sam, you
keep
should tag
dragging-
me.
Yeah.
I keep dragging Sam back into the drama. I tag him whenever. it happens.
He does the Nick Carter drama.
Yes.
He blocked me, so I never see any of it anymore. It's crazy. But all right. So when you're in a fight, tag yellow, so that you can enjoy it. All right. So if you're not tagging yellow anytime you're in a fight, please do. You need to.
That handle is at @RE_tweet.
And the last one is build, right? Since we're in a bear market, price isn't so entertaining right now. So we need to be building things so that by the time there's a new bull market, we can look back at our old tweets and say, look, we've been building. And that's why it's
The clout thing.
That's why, the pomp thing, but the other direction. And Also, even if you don't have anything that you are doing, you tweet about building, right? So you just I am hashtag I am building.
Building conviction in the bear market.
Right, but just something you can point back to at the next bull when shitcoiners are going, what did you do? Well, how was building all during the bear market? What were you doing?
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
it brings me to the question of what are you, if anything, building right now?
Oh, I mean, I'm building Swan, Bitcoin.
The whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing, man.
So
Get all the credit.
You have a lot of hats over at Swan.
Yeah, no, I do have a lot of hats at Swan. Well, I do a lot of the education over there, so a lot of the newsletters, writing, research, education. We're doing like a Bitcoin 101 course with Stefan. I did like the Bitcoin Canon, which is like an archive of Bitcoin content that I kind of curated. And I want to build that out a little bit better, and I think it can improve. So I've been focusing on that stuff, and then just Swan in general as a company. Growing it happens fast, and you just got to hold on tight. And there's a bunch of people I don't know who their names are, and every meeting seems to get bigger, and so we're just trying to stick to our mission, which is just to create Bitcoiners, which is not just owning Bitcoin, but understanding Bitcoin and taking self-custody of Bitcoin. That's kind of the mission that runs through Swan, as well as, do what's good for Bitcoin. And so that's what I've been busy with, man. I'm going to start doing Swan Signal Live, doing that podcast and hosting it.
What about Brady?
Brady's handing off the baton. He's got bigger fish to fry. It's become too important. I've been working with Brady on that show this year, and like for real, he's got a lot on his plate, and it made sense for me to kind of start doing it because I do a lot of the research and come up with the questions and things like that. So gonna start building that out. So yeah, man, been just every day, just kind of on the mission, if you will. So yeah.
Is there anything that you think the community isn't talking about and should? Like, are you exploring any other rabbit holes right now that you wish somebody would ask you about?
My meme too.
No.
3 in a row. Great job, Craig.
That was Dennis. Yellow. What about you stealing Inverse Bros meme?
Ooh.
What are you talking about?
I actually thought that was a really good question for Sam. Is it okay if Sam answers the question?
Yeah.
Which meme? What are you talking about?
Oh, the one where people tag Inverse Bra and then he screenshots the conversation.
Oh yeah, dude. You trying to
Yellow's taking that.
Yellow, are you trying to sneak in on his territory or something?
Yeah. Yes,
Are you inverse, bro?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not that
No,
cool.
shut the fuck up.
I see what you're doing, but it's working, so keep doing it. It's entertaining.
Yeah, so I want to stick back on the previous question. Are there any other rabbit holes you're exploring? Anything that you've been researching that nobody's talking about and you think they should be?
I mean, I got like a hot one.
Oh,
A little controversial.
Nice.
You're on the right path.
But what I would say was, like, I like this last week, Gladstein put the IMF and World Bank back on people's radar, and I feel like a broken record, like talking about those organizations. But I really do think those organizations have hurt more people than maybe any of them.
You know what? We're gonna let you talk about it.
Yeah, no, like that's a rabbit hole I've gone on. The other one is the Catholic Church. That's the other one I've been on. I grew up
This is juicy.
Catholic, and I wasn't like terribly religious or anything. I just grew up Irish Catholic, and that's just my upbringing. And I always thought it was interesting that they would like collect money, and there was like a certain amount of hypocrisy happening in my own church, where they would preach, giving back to the poor and all this stuff, and then my church would buy this like $100,000 giant crystal Jesus with money and then build like a full court basketball court and shit like that. And I was like, this is bonkers. And so I came across this book and it's called The God's Bankers. And this dude is this like Pulitzer Prize winning journalist or something, spent way too much time researching the money behind the Catholic Church. And that is a really crazy rabbit hole of like murder and embezzlement and theft. And, it's a touchy subject, right? Any religion's a touchy subject, but the facts are there, and they have their own hedge fund.
Nazi and Catholic go together.
Yeah, they have their own hedge fund, and it's completely mismanaged, and they didn't even have like accounting records of what they did with Peter's pence. That's what happens when they pass around the money. What they actually do with the money, it all like funnels back into Rome at the Vatican, and it's one of the richest. It's like one of the richest countries, like period. If you think about like the amount of real estate they have and like the prime real estate they have in every single city around the world, and they don't pay taxes. And so it's an extremely interesting rabbit hole to go down. But I don't know if the world's ready for it, but I guess I'm talking about it now.
So if any of the world is ready for it, are there any books, videos, documentaries that you would send them down that rabbit hole with?
Yeah, I mean, the one is called God's Bankers, and it's like a literal, it's like this big. This dude.
Sam, stop. Rusty, what do you got?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, what one resource you could do is you just Google mass formation psychosis. That's a good one to start with when it comes to religion.
Isn't that how you get your account banned?
Yeah, are we gonna lose ratings now, or how does that work?
I don't know. I'm not like.
It's not possible.
Like chastising all religions. It's just I do have a problem with the Roman Catholic Church. Maybe it's because I grew up in it, and the way they use their money, and there's a lot of corruption that has went on in history. It's all documented.
God's Bankers.
It's called God's Bankers, and it's a crazy book, really crazy book.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it starts off with like murder, and then it just goes crazier from there.
I think everything in the Catholic Church starts off with a murder. Right?
For sure.
Yeah, I mean it's a crazy organization. I don't.
Rusty, do you have another question?
You got me this time, Greg. Well played. Well played, sir.
Heretics! You're a bunch of heretics!
All right, so.
Wait, okay, I want to ask one more question. I know we're cutting it close.
Yeah, go for it.
But something that came into my mind when Gladstein was talking with Preston and you were listening in was Gladstein was talking about the IMF restructuring debt with different countries like Ghana, like it was the 16th or 17th time that they restructured.
Yeah.
What are the terms that the IMF put back? Can someone mute Rusty? I was saying, what are the terms that the IMF get? Like, what's the point of restructuring debt over and over again with a country if all you're going to do is just restructure it? You know they're not going to pay it off. Like, I think Argentina's had like 49 different loans that they've defaulted on or restructured on. They haven't paid one back. Like, what does the IMF get out of that? Are they getting private property? Are they getting something? Like, what do they get when they restructure?
Yeah, so every single time they have to restructure, like restructuring a loan just means like making the terms more favorable for the borrower. So like you could reduce the interest rates or make it longer for them to pay if they're struggling to pay or if they just need more money at the time. And so they get something in return. And what they get in return, the IMF, is they get more conditions, more basically directives for the governments to do what they want to do. So that could come in the form of all kinds of things. It could be like, hey, we want you to privatize your water system, which means, we want you to sell your entire water infrastructure to multinational corporations. It could be, hey, we want you to vote this way on this UN vote. We want you to agree with us. It's like, hey, we want access to your oil, your natural resources over here. Hey, we want you to cut spending to your healthcare and education system so that you can better pay us back. It's really each time they come back, there's more conditions attached. So that's what the IMF gets out of it. It can come in many, many different forms. Ghana is actually really interesting specifically because Ghana used to be this self-sufficient. They had self-sufficient food where they had like rich rice valleys. They had this Katanga Valley that was like a rice bowl,
and they lost it. They lost the whole valley.
Yeah, it's barren now because after they came in and followed their recommendations from the World Bank and the IMF, now they depend on U.S. rice because the rice is subsidized and they stopped all the subsidies for growing the rice in the nation. And now it's barren. And so now they're more dependent on foreigners, which is what they actually want. Ghana is very interesting. They actually took over their gold mines as well. Before 1986, their gold mining industry, the government owned about 50% of it. And then 10 years later, after they got in cahoots with the World Bank and IMF, foreigners own 85% of their mining industry, which is important because when foreigners own that stuff, they don't care about the environment there. They don't care about the people. So like 30,000 people were displaced because of these mining operations. And then what they use with the mining is cyanide to extract the gold from the ore. And there's been multiple instances in Ghana where the cyanide got into the river systems, completely destroyed their fishing pools, completely destroyed their farmland. And then they also privatized the water in Ghana. And the water was interesting because like they didn't have access to clean water. And now, since it's privatized, water costs are increased, and now a lot of people don't have access to water there. So, I mean, that's like a classic World Bank, IMF example is Ghana. They also cut healthcare costs, so they required user fees for healthcare, increased healthcare costs by 1,000%, closed a bunch of hospitals, and then after they got 4 years after they took their first IMF loan, Ghana had a AIDS pandemic. A fourth of the population had a pandemic or had HIV or AIDS because they didn't have proper health care.
One fourth?
A fourth of the entire country. Infant mortality dropped. Their life expectancy dropped by 12 years. And before they got into the loan with the IMF, all of that was going up. So GDP was going up in that country. Infant mortality was going down. Life expectancy was going up, healthcare access was going up, education was going up. Wow. All of those trends reversed after they got the loan to the IMF. So that's actually a really classic example Ghana is.
Wow. Yeah. Correlation is not causation, but holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's and then they have they took out a $484 million IMF loan in 1991, and all those things happened by 1995, 1997, and now they have a huge debt burden on top of them that they're still trying to get out of. So that's like in the other things that they're completely trapped. And then each time they try to get more debt, it comes with more conditions, like what Sean was asking. And then it's more things. And
there are economical hitmen.
Yeah, they're economic hitmen. Exactly. I mean, I like to say the devils wear suits, because that's the truth of it. They're these bankers and
vultures.
Yeah, they're vultures. They're loan sharks, whatever you want to call them. But it's long past due that people start to get upset about them again, because there really hasn't been any outrage since the 90s about the IMF and World Bank. But hopefully that starts to change.
That's why I say to whoever is like critical about Bukele, like you don't understand how much pressure it is for a president to have a set road ready for him. Basically, they told him, you're gonna go to an IMF, you're gonna get more loans, you're gonna get in debt, but your personal like future is like golden. Don't worry about it. Yours and your family. And the guy said, like, you know what? I'm gonna go this other road, the difficult one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Bukele in a lot of ways for standing up to the IMF, because if you know anything about the history of anybody who stands up against them, they end up in a plane crash or something. So,
Yeah,
Panama President Torrijos,
they get Epstein.
yeah, Ecuador president in the 70s. There's the Chilean overthrow. I mean, like, you can just go down the list. And so he's pretty brave to do this. I mean, you can be critical of certain ways he handled some things. Like, I get that. But in terms of standing up to the IMF, like, he should get a lot of praise. And also adopting Bitcoin would be the first. Like, to give up that power. Like, they already were on the dollar standard, but for just to be like, we're going to have Bitcoin be the standard. And we're going to accept that nobody can control it. For like a president of a country to do that, super powerful message. So,
Especially when your country is like dollarized, like
it's
the perfect balance that you bring into the country.
Yeah, honestly, like having the dollar and then having Bitcoin. I mean, that's a pretty good little system right there right now for them, and then they could just slowly move to that.
Because they have like all the like bad things about the fiat system. But at least they don't have like their own printing press. They don't even have that.
Yeah, so they're completely dependent on the Fed.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, and the Fed only cares about America with its policies. It's been that way since the early 80s. So they're kind of screwed. You know, they have no control over their own economy, essentially. Like, they don't have control.
Protectorate. Yeah.
Ecuador's next.
Thanks, Sean.
Ecuador is going to be dollarized? Is that what you mean?
They already are dollarized.
Are they dollarized?
Yeah.
Oh, you think they're next Bitcoin?
Well, it's an easy path. It's an easy path to get there.
Cornerized.
Hey, I like that.
All right, so Sam, you've been super generous with your time with us tonight, and I want to make sure that we get Artie's question in this evening, even though he's not here. So we're going to go to our resident subservient British Empire person, Rusty, to go ahead and get that out.
The Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth.
Commonwealth.
Oh, crikey. Hey, Sam. If the meme factory did exist...
Did you find your notes, first of all, did you find your notes, man?
I've just been concentrating on the accent. I didn't think about the notes situation. Just focusing too much on the accent. Sam.
Yeah.
If the meme factory did exist, and we all know it doesn't,
That's pretty good.
which one of us would you like? Which one of us would you retweet? And which one of us would you mute?
Oh my
Governor?
Governor?
That was wonderful, Rusty. Good job. That was a really good RD.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I'll probably... I'll retweet Sean, I'll like Yellow, and I'll mute Greg.
Hey.
Jesus.
Go fuck yourself, Greg.
That's the spirit.
There it is. All right. Now, we're about to close this out. Is there anywhere you want to direct people to find any of your content?
You can just you can follow me on Twitter.
You just go fuck yourself.
On there, like all you guys. So I'm at Sam Calla, SamCallah. My stuff gets posted on the Swan blog too, so you can check that out at swan.com and just find the blog on there. And then I work at Swan as the analyst, and so I usually work with our private clients. And so if you want to get like a preview of like the research report we put out for them or the market update we do every 2 weeks, you can just DM me. My DMs are open, and I'll send that your way if you're interested in that too.
Cool. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate you coming.
Well,
Yeah.
Thanks
for your
everybody
time,
tuning in.
Thanks for joining.
Wait. I gotta invite him.
All right.
Wow.
Sean's stressing out.
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah, thanks for joining, Sam. You can go.
Sorry, it's been a few weeks. I'm rusty. Go ahead, Sean.
Yes. No, you're not Rusty. You're Greg. Sam, you know what happens in block height 840,000?
Wait, what did you say?
Another
You know what
block.
happens in block height 840,000?
Is that the happening party?
That is the halving. That is correct, sir. We are throwing, as the Meme Factory, we're throwing the halving party 2024 in El Salvador. Come on down. You're invited. It's going to be a blast. Unlimited food, unlimited drinks on the beach.
Gonna be ladies?
We're going to get El Presidente Najib Bukele
We're working
at
on
the
it.
party. We're going to get him. I know it. He hasn't committed yet, but he will. He'll commit. We'll get him there.
Is Sailor gonna be there on his yacht?
He confirmed. Yep.
Sailor said he was already going to.
Hell yeah.
Sailor already said to us that he was going to be there.
Yep.
Gotta
Yeah,
go see
confirmed.
now.
Taylor already said he was going to be there.
It's on the
He
interwebs.
said that like 1 year ago, man.
Yeah, it
The
was
having
last
date didn't change, did it, Yellow?
No, last December. Last December, Sailor was on Meme Factory and he said he'd be at the having party.
Okay.
He asked McDonald's for some time off, and they said yes.
Just making sure there isn't competing parties. You know, I don't wanna commit to something.
Do you know something that we should know?
I don't know anything. I'm there, bro.
Yeah, I
I'm
told you, I'm
Yes,
making
prove it.
the party of the halving.
there. It's gonna be better than any party Sailor threw anyway. So
That's right.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Son, I'm telling you, if I don't get my penthouse, I'm making another party. The party of the halving is gonna be the next bait.
Okay. Yellow, you're gonna be in the VIP Yellow Tower.
Yeah, but I need that elevator that like opens up.